I'm gonna go to Bone Town.
Please, I want everyone to know that Tammy does laugh at my jokes.
Are we in love?
You've been watching me. Stop it, you. Stop.
They're either gonna kiss or they're gonna end up shagging under that tree.
Definitely not editing this out, by the way.
It's fine, it's fine. My drink of choice today is a bar lemonade. Sponsor us,
Shit,
please.
I need to get a drink. Oh yeah, good point. Do you know what I did bring though? I forgot my drink, but I've got a snack with me today, which just so happens to be...
Oh my god,
crackers.
you've got Violet Sorengale with you. Our first co-host.
Violet Sorengale is in the room with us today. Violet can go right next to my mic. I can't sit and... The language is about to get dodged. I can't sit and eat Violet on camera. The sound. The sound through the mic would
Have
be
one.
Decent.
Have one and I'll let you know if it's like really crunchy.
A little bit of ASMR.
I can't really hear you crunch.
Oh, maybe I can get away with it then.
Yeah, I think you're fine. You can tell like that you've been ill because you've got that like sultry voice down the mic.
Oh yeah, sexy voice.
And then eating your prawn crackers.
I've also got the last can of caffeine-free Pepsi.
Love that.
The boy is going to be deboed.
Is he?
Partially because he bloody loves them, but he drinks them twice as fast as me, so you know this one's mine. And partially because he's supposed to open every can for me. It's a bit of a running joke. He won't let me open my own cans of anything ever.
Oh, that's well cute.
We watched a K-drama once where the guy wouldn't let the girl do it. And since then it's just become like a running joke.
Yeah, but it's adorable. Like I said this to my boy when we were watching a K-drama and I was like, I wish you'd love me the same way. Like, what's going on here?
We're already back to the insane double standards of Dain. Because yeah, I know I really hate Dain and the way that he just like babies Violet. Also, I'm a strong, independent woman, and I really want somebody to just treat me like a baby at all times.
Yeah, exactly. So, I want to feel seen and be taken care of. That's all I want.
Yes.
All I want.
Spoiled, unnecessarily spoiled.
Oh my god. And it doesn't even have to be like materialistically spoiled.
No, just open my cans for me.
Oh my god, yeah. Open the door for me.
Yeah.
Things like that. Burp me. Oh my god. We'll get to the book in a sec, but I was scrolling through Facebook today and I saw that a very like masculine, hunky, muscly man has made over £20,000 on OnlyFans by selling his fat. Moneymaker, IBS. Like, do you see how much I could have had my house paid off by now? Like, what?
I literally like outsource the work to me. I'm like cheaper labor and I'm twice as fast.
Exactly. Like he could have 10%. Like I'm happy to split it 50-50. It'll take me twice as long to pay my house off, but I could deal with 10k a month. Just if all I need to do is jar my fart, I'm down. New business idea. Like, but how do you enter that market? Anyway, I just thought it was really interesting and actually quite funny and on brand for us. So yeah, if you in the future give it 10 to 12 months, if you start seeing merch of unbranded jars anywhere, it's probably
come on. Our follows are better than that. We'll brand them.
Random. And it won't be don't tell the boys, it'll be don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone where you got this. Or wait, yeah. Tell everyone, actually. We'll put a QR code on it.
Make sure to follow and subscribe.
For more gems like this. I'm definitely not editing this out, by the way.
It's fine. That's so funny. And since you're keeping it all in, if anybody wants to buy a pair of socks, DM us.
You know what? I could find a pair. Like I've lost loads, and I could just put two random ones together for someone if they're interested.
Exactly. Like, it's a tough world out there right now, and the economy is hard.
If you need socks, if you're struggling with socks, we can sort it out. Okay, you ready?
I am. I was born ready.
Good. This is going to be really hard not to just immediately jump to the bit we both want to talk about.
It's fine. Take your time. It's a journey, and we need to bring our listeners with us. Okay. It's also great because it helps me remind myself what happened. Yeah. Like, and I also think you're a great storyteller too. So I'm always dead engrossed by you describing what we've read so far.
I'm great at telling other people's stories.
It's the professional yapper.
Yeah. Oh, I had some more feedback from editing our last recording, by the way. Don't be afraid to talk over me or laugh straight into the mic so I catch it, because what I've noticed is we can totally both be heard. It's not like when you're on Teams and you talk and it cuts somebody else out, which really pisses me off. I like it when I catch your laughs in the recording, because what I find is a lot of the time I think you laugh a bit quieter or you laugh away from the mic and then the noise suppression cuts you out.
Yeah,
actually, it doesn't work as well in an audio recording. So that's all the laughs. No. Are you looking
basically
at me, or are you looking
Chesca
at
is funny?
Yeah, please, I want everyone to know that Tammy does laugh at my jokes.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Let's remind ourselves where we were. So, Amber just got absolutely toasted by Tairn. Awesome. By Amber.
Love that.
Everyone's just got on with life, which I feel like is kind of the theme with Basgaith. Everyone just gets on with it because they're used to it.
Everyone's just so used to death that they're like, yeah it's fine.
Totally desensitized. Violet and Liam have been hanging out. It's not by Violet's choice, but Liam just follows her everywhere now. Yeah.
I love that. I really like this friendship that they're developing.
I mean, there was no way he wasn't going to get attached to our Violet. Let's be honest. Yeah,
I know. I really hope that from his side, it never gets to a romantic. I just hope that it doesn't develop into anything. I just want her to have really.
Yeah.
Right.
I know it won't be. I know it'll be unrequited, but I don't care. I just think Xaden needs a push. He's being an idiot.
Yeah, I agree, to be honest.
So, anyway, they're chilling out loads. She's finding out some stuff about the rebellion from him that she didn't know, which I won't go into loads of detail about here, but it's funny because we've been dead suspicious about the side we're on for ages, and this one definitely seems to kind of back up the theory that our side's kind of maybe doing some shit. It's not telling anyone it's doing, and not good stuff either, so... I just put in my notes, we are the bad guys, and then highlighted it.
Oh, I don't know. Are we discussing it as we go?
I mean, we can discuss the evidence for or against as we go. I think there was some pretty stark evidence for, coming from Liam's perspective.
Yeah, definitely. We obviously find out that he went to foster care after his parents died. Yeah. That was interesting because I'm sure we had briefly spoken about this previously, because we were like, what happened to the children? Yeah.
I also found out that Xaden and I think Liam and quite a lot of the other separatist kids' families were from nobility, which we didn't really know before. So we know that this rebellion was going up quite high.
Yeah.
Which is it's just nice to have like a clearer picture.
Yeah, because I know that it gets briefly mentioned in terms of like, we know that there's a king, but after that it's all a bit grey. Like we don't really know much about anything outside of the school. And one thing that I found interesting is it that people just basically weren't agreeing with the king? Because we don't really know why they rebelled, but that was the only reason I could think of. Like, is it because the king has done something that they didn't agree with?
I feel like the king is the linchpin of this whole thing, isn't he? I think it's quite interesting that Violet is obviously very learned. Like, she's grown up in the scribes and she's done a load of studying about the history. She obviously knows a lot of the law, but she's not ever really set foot out of Basgaith, and she's really only consumed that which was pre-approved.
Yeah. There's so much to learn, and I feel like we don't know enough, but also so much has happened already. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really getting fed like a carefully curated view of everything. Their view of things is being heavily controlled, which is a nice segue into what happens next. So they are asked to take a scroll to battle briefing that was apparently left behind by mistake. That was for General Markham. They open it, read it, and it's not, classified or anything, but it doesn't get read out a battle brief. In fact, the professors act like it was never received, and nothing happened, which is, I feel like, something we're supposed to note and to come back to later when we have more context. But battle brief is run by Markham and De Vera. There's nothing necessarily to say that De Vera ever knew about that scroll either.
Ooh, yeah.
So I wanted to really just make note that it was Markham that was supposed to receive it. He forgot it, seemingly accidentally, who knows. But whether it's accidental or not, he then proceeded to act as if it didn't exist anyway. And it's optional whether or not De Vera knew of its existence either.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I think I'd like to believe that it was forgotten, but I don't trust the teachers either, because they're the only ones that.
All the teachers. I mean, okay. I don't trust any of them either, but that's only because I haven't figured out which side I'm on yet.
True. That's true. Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah. Also, Violet's mega sexually frustrated.
Same.
We're all blue balling it for her right now.
Yeah. Hardcore.
She wishes. They all discuss her sexual frustration as a group together, and sometime during that conversation, Xaden picks up a pen for her from a distance, so he's clearly listening.
I thought my heart skipped a beat when he did that, because I was like, oh my god, he's eavesdropping once again.
Hey, it's nice to know somebody's listening to you when you didn't even ask. It's hard enough for men to listen to you sometimes.
True.
We'll jump into chapter 22 with the sparring practice, which is, I'd say, kind of a continuation of Violet's sexual frustration. She's really fucking angry at Xaden, though. I think it's just the frustration. I don't think she's really that mad at him at all.
She got angry that he made Liam follow her everywhere, but he's not giving her the time of day to train her.
Not paying her any attention.
Yeah. And she is mad.
She is mad about it. She's being a stroppy little madam.
Yeah.
I would be too. I also put in capitals here, Jack rejects the orange slice. Which, obviously, I later found out why, but in my brain I was going, he's poisoning the oranges.
Conversation about them poisoning the food. They're like unbonded poisoning the food. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, holy shit, they're actually poisoning the fruit. And then we find out why.
Yeah, we find out why later. I still think they're poisoning the food, personally. I'll die on that hill. But at the moment, it seems that the oranges are fine. So Xaden and Violet do have a little bit of a spat in this. I feel like there's a lot of very mutual tension and sexual frustration going on.
It's been building up for a while.
I know. I like the phrase, "I'm annoyingly aware of everything you do."
Yes. I love that. And only because there is nothing more exciting about liking somebody and just being constantly aware when they're in the room, when they're looking at you, when they're breathing, when they're like, yeah, I feel like you are so aware of that person.
Yeah. Hyper aware.
Yeah.
And we knew what he meant as well. Like, he was not saying, I have to have you followed at all hours and have them report back to me. That's not what he was saying. We knew what he meant. Violet didn't, because she's a dumbass, but we know.
Yeah. She's just not getting the signs, is she?
You know what I will say about Violet? I really like her character in a lot of ways. Her emotional intelligence is somewhat lacking. Like, and I don't get me wrong, I love the girl, but she's got like one mode, you know? If she thinks a thing, then it's coming out her mouth, right?
Yeah. I love that about her.
No, I love Violet, and all people like her. They need to be protected. They are perfect. But I guess what I'm saying is, she's all book smarts and no street smarts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Violet also gets her power in this chapter, sort of. Like, she's now able to channel power, but she doesn't know what she's doing with it, and so no power has surfaced.
I was confused about this because she can do the basics. From what I understood, she can do the basics. So like when she was talking about not being able to, or finally being able to write without a old vintage pen, whatever, a feather and some ink. Is that it? Like, that's it, isn't it? That's all that she could do. And she could like summon things or whatever it's called.
She can do all the basic bitch stuff that everyone can do once they can channel power. But she can't do any others. What her unique core power is yet.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so we're all eagerly awaiting finding out what her power is. I still don't know what I think her power is going to be, but I've actually now come to the conclusion that whatever it is going to be totally pacifist, anti-violence, like peaceful.
Okay. This isn't a prediction, but this is just what I initially thought when I was reading about that section about her sort of basically, you know, the point where she starts to like feel a tingling sensation in her body and not in a sexual way.
Yeah.
I was convinced that, like, obviously she's got like brittle bones. I was convinced that she was becoming like Wolverine. Like she was gonna be like unbreakable, and that was gonna be her power. And then they just didn't mention it again, and I was like, oh, I guess I was wrong then.
Oh, that would be such a cool idea if it was invulnerability.
Yeah. Like, I was like, that's sick. Because obviously everyone's out to get her. You know, if she dies, Xaden dies. So, like, not necessarily that she would be immortal, but, like, it would take a lot to kill her.
I mean, it's supposed to be like a core of your being, which is why I'm leaning towards pacifist at the moment, because we know that the absolute core of her being is to try and save life rather than take it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But that's what I just felt represented her there. How to explain what happens next? Do you want to have a go? Because I actually struggled to... Of what?
So is this... the events that unfold.
The events to unfold.
So this is Tairn and Sgaeyl.
Yeah. How would you...
Right?
You know what I put? When I tried to describe what was happening.
Yeah.
I literally just wrote, the neighbours are being loud.
I love that. So, Tairn and Sgaeyl are mates, you know, and they're both feral for each other. It can happen at any time. And then their riders, because they share a mentor bond, are technically going at it with them. Xaden basically mentions that sometimes they forget to put their shield down, but basically because Violet doesn't have the power to sort of shield her mind, she was feeling all the feelings that Tairn was feeling. She was feeling everything. That's basically what happened up until then.
So Tairn goes, right, she's ready to channel now. Gives her the power and then promptly goes, lovely. That's my job done for the day. Darling.
Yeah. I'm going to go to Bone Town.
You look gorgeous, darling. Come here.
I felt like after Tairn had a really long, stressful day at work, and he got home.
That's where you were going with that sentence when you started it.
Sgaeyl had cleaned her cave, and she had the house made up for him.
Again, I thought you were going in a different direction when you said she'd cleaned her cave, but
no, I wasn't gonna go that graphic, to be honest. But I was gonna try and keep it PG.
Slightly disappointed in you.
So sorry.
We're starting to get to the meat of this now, Tammy. We can't be shy.
I know, yeah.
I feel like I'm baiting you, and I don't know why, because you're you're so much less of a filter than me, so I don't know why I think I'm going to win this game. So basically, Violet's like, what the fuck is going on? Why am I so turned on? And then to avoid bedding Liam more or less by accident, she legs it out of the Riders' Quarter. And who would have had the same idea? Who but Xaden?
Oh my god! Yeah. Liking the episode? Let us know how we're doing in the comments below. But please, no spoilers. And don't forget, you can find us at don'ttell_theboys on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. We're all over the place. Make sure to follow us to stay updated with your new book besties.
So, just out there smoking some weed, effectively, I think.
Yeah.
He's kind of out there for the same reason, we gather. Like, he knows how to put the shields up, but you can't ever put the shields up fully. So he's, like, smoking weed to take some of the edge off what's left, right?
Yeah.
And he knows what Violet's going through, and he thinks it's very funny, and he takes full advantage of it, but he bites off more than he can chew, and they full-on make out.
I was so happy. I felt like the build-up. First of all, got fluff up my nose. Sorry. Oh my god.
Sorry, I'll take this moment to, like Xaden, maybe partake with a little bit of Violet.
Eat her out.
It tastes great, Violet.
What was I saying?
Does it cut you out when you're too loud as well?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you actually do have to move your mic away from you when you laugh. Otherwise, nobody thinks I'm funny. See, that's better already.
I'll try to remember. I feel like that build-up of it all happening. Obviously, we knew it was coming, literally. But like, we knew it was coming, but I just didn't expect it. Because obviously, like, we didn't know what was happening with Violet, so we were like, oh my god. But as soon as she stepped outside and Xaden's name got mentioned, I was like, they are either going to kiss or they're going to end up shagging under that tree. And, I mean, they kissed. I wasn't disappointed, okay, but it happened. It wasn't what I expected. to happen, but I was actually kind of thrilled with the fact that they kissed.
Oh yeah, me too. I actually didn't think we were going to get that much. The author was edging everyone with that chapter, us and the characters alike. But I think that I thought we were just going to get a bit of a nearly moment. So I got more than I expected out of that.
Remind me how many chapters there is in this book. There's like 40 odd, isn't it? It's taken us like 22, 23 to get a kiss. My questions to you is, when do you think it'll escalate to more than a kiss? Do you think it'll be like
take long?
5 to 10 chapters? Is it going to happen in this book at all at this point?
Oh yeah, I think it's going to happen in this book. I think that it will happen in the next 5. But I also think once it happens, it's going to happen like a lot.
Oh, yeah. I didn't mean that in a sexual way.
Yeah, calm down.
oh, yeah.
See, your inside voice is just outside.
Yeah. I just say it before thinking.
I think once it happens, it'll happen loads.
Nice. Yeah.
But I guess it depends on how you think the story's going to go. I highlighted some stuff here.
Yeah.
A sweet little slice of payback for what you've put me through these last couple of months. He brushes the snow off my hair. What I've put you through? Unbelievable. You scared me nearly to death once or twice, so I think saying please is a fair request. Not you've nearly died and nearly killed me once or twice.
Yeah.
You've scared me to death.
He cares about her so much.
Yeah.
That
she's not getting it. It's mental.
Yeah. But then I'm like, well, I wonder what it'll take for her to finally, like, get it, you know?
Well, I think she gets it after this chapter. She's just, do you know what? She's absolutely hapless. Also, I also highlighted, because obviously Xaden ends it and says, I shouldn't have done that. You're not in a position to consent. Xaden also says, oh, I'm firmly in control of my faculties. I actually don't think that Xaden is completely in control of his faculties at all. I think he's utterly in denial. Because he's not wearing a cloak, so it's supposed to signify that he's still somewhat affected by this too. He's already admitted as much. And the
fact that he's smoking too.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So, like, you're not in control because you're out here as well, and you're smoking, which makes it even worse. Well, not worse, but like, just
like you're on it. You've got another drug influencing your system as well.
Yeah.
And when he touches her face, he says, just one of the perks of not thinking too clearly. So he's actually admitting himself there that he's not thinking too clearly either.
Yeah.
I also know, because I've been reading your threads, that you want to talk about whether or not you think Xaden can read Violet's thoughts.
Yes. So I can't get over that. Like, I have tried to ignore the fact that, you know, maybe it's just me overthinking things, but there's just been instances where he'll say something or react in some way that I'm like, you could only know that if you're in her head. I want an explanation of how the chain of, like, communication happens between the two mated dragons and the riders.
You don't think he's inntinsic then?
Is that where, like, when you can read?
Yeah, that's the one that the kid gets murdered for.
Oh. No, I haven't. Hold on. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, no, I hadn't thought about that. I thought they could all hear each other. What is stopping Xaden and Violet communicating with one another via their little noggins? Do you see what I mean?
Yes, I totally get what you're saying. And personally, I don't think this is true because of the simple fact that
I'm hurt.
I have to disagree.
Sorry.
Respectfully, because he doesn't know anything about Liam. When she tells him about her interaction with Liam, he's worried that they've had sex, and he needs her to tell him that they haven't. I was like, okay, I don't think that he can, but I'm seeing evidence for and against it, because I see what you're seeing too. And I'm just, at the moment, I'm just like mulling over the for and against, because I'm not fully sold on it. But the other thing I would say is, if he's been able to read her thoughts this whole time and not told her, that's a massive violation.
Technically, I don't think it's a thing that Violet and Xaden control. I think it is something that can only happen when the dragons are also have the communication open. And in that case, the reason why he didn't know about Liam is because the dragons had they weren't communicating in their Violet could feel stuff. I don't know. In my brain, it makes sense. I've got way too many theories about it, but I'm convinced. Yeah.
I hope he can't, because that's incredibly humiliating, and I think it's unfair of him to be able to hear those thoughts and not tell her. I don't think that we're getting too close to my predictions, so I won't go there, but I have some thoughts on Xaden's trustworthiness. So I'm not necessarily relying on him being trustworthy enough to rule out that he wouldn't violate her like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, after he rejects her, she flees the area.
Yeah.
Chapter 23. Violet and Dain, they kind of make up. I had a note here.
Go on.
Dain said something interesting about Xaden's trustworthiness. Did you have any thoughts on that? He basically said that he had a higher clearance than her because of his signet.
Yeah, I saw that. Obviously, I saw that.
I saw that. I was there. So I'm right there next to you, Chesca.
They knew stuff that Violet didn't, basically.
Yes, but because of his signet, which is the ability to read recent memories. So I couldn't work out from that whether he's read memories that have given him more information on Xaden, or whether he's been awarded a higher level of clearance specifically because of the signet he was given. Because we talked before about how maybe he would have potential in the military police with a power like that in the judicial system, which I thought was laughable after he didn't believe Violet with Amber and proceeded to try and force read her memories to get proof. But here we are. Still, is that what we're saying has happened then? He's been awarded some kind of clearance?
I think it was that they needed somebody with his abilities.
Right. He's seen some adjacent memories then, not Xaden.
Yeah.
But Dain also never break the rules, so he'd never tell her why. He'd never give her that information. He also touches her cheek in this scene.
I highlighted this. That was probably one of the few highlights that I did. And that was, here we go again. Dain touches Violet.
And I am fully of the assumption that it's his power, so he chooses when to use it. So he doesn't have to get consent if he doesn't want to. But also, what I need confirmation of is whether or not somebody is aware of when he's using his power on them. Yeah. Do they re-experience the memories that he is looking at? Or, I think we'll find that out at some point. But at the moment, I'm questioning everything.
I really hope so.
Since you told me, I'm now questioning absolutely everything. Every time he says anything, I'm like, what are you doing there? What are you doing, Dain?
Yeah. No, literally, I was freaking out as soon as he touched her. I was like, oh no. Yeah. But because I was if my theory is correct, then he would have seen Xaden and Violet kissing.
Yeah, I know, which is also what made me think maybe he hadn't been doing it then, because I just can't imagine no reaction from him on that front, honestly.
Oh, I don't know. I think if it's calculated, that's like information that he would wait to drop at like the perfect time.
I don't know that I credit him with that much emotional regulation if he actually has feelings for Violet.
Yeah.
If he did it and he knows and he hasn't had a reaction, then he doesn't have any feelings for Violet whatsoever. Like, but if he does have feelings for Violet, I just don't think he could have seen that in that moment and not reacted.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm personally giving Dain more credit than he's due. Yeah, in my mind, he's at this point, he is my villain. Like, he is the master manipulator. He is not trustworthy.
Well, we can't forget about the real villain. The real villain returns to us immediately after this, because Violet and Jack have their sparring match, and Jack nearly kills her. But we need to figure out what the fuck Jack's signet is, because to me it sounded like some kind of like earthquake, like vibration, kind of tremor thing.
Yeah. He's pouring his power into her.
And his eyes were red-rimmed as well when he was doing it. Like the Venom Riders. Isn't that how they're described?
Yeah. Another theory. Not a prediction, because I'll be honest, I don't think I have a prediction for this episode again. But
I've got 3, mate. I'll make up for it. It's fine.
What if, in that heat of the moment, it wasn't Jack pouring his power into Violet, it was Violet taking his power? I've really got like X-Men in my head right now, but like, you know, Jean like touches and like it's like sucks everything. Yeah. Pardon me.
Pardon me as well. Hold on, I'm gonna cough again. Back.
You're good.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be my prediction. But yeah, I do think that was Violet all along.
Which would lend weight to siphoning again, if she's able to take his power and hasn't figured out how to redirect it yet.
Yeah.
But because I thought it was just he can like basically use the Cruciatus curse by touch.
Yeah.
I guess I'd like some clarification on that. I'm hoping that we'll find out more.
I hope so. Yeah.
Anyway, she fucking nails him with an orange because it turns out that he's allergic to oranges, which puts them both in the hospital, or puts him in the hospital. She was already going, but she just like took him down with her, and she wakes up to find Xaden sitting by her bedside looking absolutely devoed and trying to again pass it off as just being really angry with her.
Yeah. And actually it was very worried about her.
Yeah, could have left Liam with her, but he didn't.
Yeah, no, yeah, had to be him.
By her bed.
Yeah.
Chapter 24. So, Xaden really, really friend-zones Violet in the hospital. Like, just fully. He's like, this is not happening. Get over it. But he's given her some pretty mixed messages in this chapter.
Yeah.
He's like, no, absolutely not. Nothing's going to happen. But I will be spending every waking minute of my life with you from here on out. And then also, I bought you a present.
It's like, I know you like Marmite, but it's like that love-hate relationship with Marmite, you know? It's like, love it in the sense of like, he obviously wants to stay around her because they're like practically mated themselves now because of their dragons. Yeah. Hate because he's obviously trying to put his like feelings aside. Xaden reminds me of Marmite at this point in time.
I thought you were going to say, I know you love Marmite. It's like if someone bought you a jar of Marmite.
In terms of the gifts, yeah, I think that's perfect.
They're basically the equivalent, you know, like a specially made, like custom dagger, jar of Marmite. What would be like, yeah, I'm trying to think. What would be the gift for me? What would be my equivalent of a dagger that's been made like specifically for my size?
Food-wise, like think of it in like food terms.
Has it got
or
to be
like
food?
spreads. Yeah.
It's got to be a spread of some kind.
I'd be like, apricot jam.
It's got to be Marmite then. It does. I'm sorry. Definitely.
Wild. I can't believe that.
Butter. Put you some butter. Oh shit, actually, do you know what it would be? If somebody was trying to tell me how well they knew me,
yeah,
it would be a flat white. Like if somebody if somebody brought a flat white to my desk and just went,
yeah,
that's yours, drink that, that would be the equivalent. I would be like,
are we in love? Are we in love?
You've been watching me. Stop it, you. Stop. Because I buy lattes at work because the flat white is more expensive, even though, and I do
outrageous
out of spite, because it's like 20 pence more expensive, and it's the same price whether you bring your own cup or not with a flat white. Even though it's smaller than a latte, then it's still cheaper to buy a latte. Honestly, it's outrageous, and it's because flat whites are so popular, right? So they just literally charge more for the flat white. So I was like, you know what, I'm not having that, and I've bought lattes ever since. So if somebody knew that I preferred a flat white, even though I buy a latte every day, that would be a dead giveaway.
Yeah, that makes so. I fully agree with the gift. Like, yeah, I love that actually, because it's like proper attention to details. Back to work charging more for a flat white than a latte. A flat white is smaller than a latte.
Thank you.
It uses less like milk, less product, let's say.
And I think about the same amount of actual coffee as a latte.
Yeah, it's 2 shots. Like standard barista over here. Like, why? That's wild. The last time I went down, I got told off by the cafe lady because I didn't have my own mug. Do you remember? And I had to buy a takeaway cup, and I was like, I'm never gonna see this takeaway cup again. It's like, I'm pretty sure I left it at your house.
Still got it. Wait. I haven't, because I've got the Starbucks takeaway cup.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
That's not the same one, is it? But I do have a takeaway cup of yours.
Yeah.
And to give that back as well.
Don't worry, I think that cost me like £1. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway. Right. The equivalent of a custom-made dagger is a flat white.
Right.
We finish out this chapter as well with like a really awkward encounter with Violet's mum, and also Dain's dad as well, who are both just really suspicious about Andana, and they basically just all admit that they want to like study her in a weird scientific way, which
it's horrible.
Right. Yeah, bad vibes, honestly.
And I felt really bad for Violet then, because you sort of, again, get to see her mum's intentions, and like what her mum actually cares about is the fact that she now has a daughter that has 2 dragons, and bad vibes.
We still haven't seen an interaction between General Sgaeyl and Violet alone since chapter 1. I'm just really conscious that like everything we've seen from General Sgaeyl since then has been her behaving a certain way in front of other people present. So I'm still holding out hope that she's just not, that Violet just doesn't know the whole story.
Yeah, true.
We'll see, because we don't have any more information than Violet does, and that moves us into the final chapter, which is squad battle. So I think we can maybe start dipping into predictions from here on out, because some of it will happen naturally, and we're at the end of these 5 chapters. But we know that Violet's squad, well, we don't know whether they win or not, but they are given the task. They're all given the task of stealing the thing that they think would be most valuable to their enemies if their enemies were to break into Basgaith. And they steal the war map from Violet's mum's office that has all the troop markings on it, all the outposts, all the trade routes, everything. And I wanted to ask you what you think the fallout of that is going to be.
I think that was a pivotal moment to show that the school isn't as secure as it seems. If it was that easy for cadets to break into this office, what could stop like the rebellion kids from going in there and like snooping? And obviously I feel like she'll be praised because it's a massive thing to pull off, but I do think that her and her mum will end up having a fallout.
I agree with you. I would expect that too. So who sets that task? Is it the wing leaders?
I don't know. I just thought it was the professors.
I want to know who makes that decision and who decides what the task was, because I don't fucking trust them. I think somebody set that task
for a reason,
and I think Violet was set up.
They had to take the wards down from her mum's office.
Yeah.
What if someone went into the office after they left? Because the wards are down.
Or she was in there with a load of separatist kids. Anyway, what if they took something else while she was in there that she didn't know about? Or maybe they led her to have the idea of taking something from that office in the first place, specifically as a cover or as a way to find a way in. I think they would set that task knowing that Violet would have that idea.
Ooh.
And that she'd be successful in it too, because she was so smart. And I the reason I asked if it was the wing leaders was because I actually wouldn't put it past Xaden to manipulate Violet like that.
No.
I think she was set up. And I think the fallout will end up being much, much bigger than what we realise at this moment. I think something is going on.
It's also dark, and I don't trust any shadows. So if Xaden wasn't physically there and couldn't be seen, why couldn't his shadows be there to get whatever he needed to get whilst the wards are down?
But he didn't need to even be in the room because Imogen was there. And she's super fast. Like...
Yeah, I guess.
You know, Liam was there. Like, there were a load of separatist kids in that room who could have all had their own orders.
Yeah.
So
that's a great prediction.
So my actual prediction is I think that this book is going to end with Xaden's reluctant betrayal. I think Xaden's already had something going on from the beginning.
Oh my God.
I think getting tied to Violet was not part of the plan. And I think he's trying to stay away from her because he doesn't want to hurt her more than he already knows he's going to have to at some point. He doesn't want to become attached to her. And I think that he will get too attached. They'll begin a relationship. And then she's going to realise that he can still hurt her after all.
Oh my God, so you've got like a full end of book prediction.
Yeah, that's my current feeling of how this is going to go.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a really good one.
They can't separate for long, obviously, so it's not going to work out like he just flies off into the distance and then, you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, and actually, it turns out that that's my only one, because the only other one that I had was that Violet's power could potentially be mending if it reflects who she is, because it has to be a pacifist. But I already said that, so
I don't know. I could, to be fair, your prediction about the map makes complete sense. To be honest, the fact that she just like hangs the map, I literally imagine like Liam and is it Riddock holding the other side, and then just opening the map and everyone seeing like everything. That's information that like you can't trust everybody at the school. That's a wild thing to do.
And why would you set a task like that when that outcome is viable?
Yeah.
So I don't trust the people who set that task.
That makes so much sense. Oh my god. I just hope there's no consequences.
I really hope that Xaden didn't use Violet to get to her mother there.
Yeah, me too. Oh my god, imagine when they get together and her mum finds out that they're like together.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so that's
right.
Everything. So we're on to chapters 26 to 30, and given that there's only 39 chapters, shit's about to get really real.
Holy shit, I didn't realise that we were so close to the end.
Neither did I, and actually, I said earlier, I was like, oh yeah, we're over halfway through, they'll probably have sex soon, and then there'll be loads. I actually think they probably won't manage it more than once, if at all.
Yeah. Oh my god. Right, okay, hold on, I'm gonna...
Yeah, I feel like shit's about to get real. The next 5 chapters could be crazy. If not the next 5, then the 5 after, for sure.
Yeah. So you are right. Your prediction could be right. This has to be the turning point where it all majorly kicks off.
And we need to start seeing some things come together soon. And I think we are allowed to start having end game predictions for book 1 anytime from now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You've got to have one. You've got it for the next episode.
For the next one, yeah.
Prediction. Yeah.
Okay. I'll read with that in mind. Oh, that was so good. I guess this is it for this week. Look at us.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you to everybody who is listening. We want to hear your predictions as well, please. And we also want to hear your thoughts on ours. Tell us if you think that they were right. Tell us if you think they're wrong. But don't tell us if you actually know. We don't want any spoilers. Thank you very much.
Please, no spoilers. And yeah, definitely get involved with all the conversations happening over on Threads. And yeah,
tell us if you think we should make merch. Tell us if you think we should sell parts in a jar.
Yeah, definitely tell us if you think we should start selling branded farts. On that note, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah. Right. I'll see all of you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Join us as we read and react to Fourth Wing for the first time. Find out if I loved it, if Chesca hated it, who's hot, who's not. We'll also be doing other fun things like character rankings, fuck, marry, kill, would you rather, and answering your questions. Follow us across social media at don'ttell_the_boys. And finally, please rate our podcast after you decided you like it.